So there it is, it's Elton Reservoir, formerly Manchester Bolton Bury Canal. Their company own this to keep the canal tops up. Probably used for steam trains too at some point. Anyway, Elton Reservoir it's called now, and it's run by Canal and River Trust. And my gate is at a trickle. That's where the gate comes in. Hello everyone. You'll see that in other videos. That's where the gate came in. But last time it was empty, remember? Oh, just so you know, I'm still here. I'm going to film this, like I say. Reservoir's got some interesting facts. So just flip the camera around. So it's on me. I'm on a scout. So it's not about canals, although I am along the Bury Bolton Canal as I have been in the last few videos. Just working out my gimbal, how to get it set up right. So I'm going off, we're going this direction now. HINDS Mill. It's not HINDS Mill, it's HINDS Mill. We're going to head off down along the banks of the River Irwell, and well, I'm hopefully looking to find the runoff. I've just put my wellies on so we can get a bit closer, but we'll head up. But so my right hand side, which is the left of the TV from the viewing angle, is where we're heading. We're going to head up to Elton Reservoir and we're going to see how it's fed. I've got two hunches and it's obviously been changed to a different method over the last few months. I assume that's been taking place over a few months. So it's not about canals, it's about history. So HINDS looked a lot like this picture I'm about to show you, but I'm on a scout, so sometimes I use different cameras, sometimes I don't set up my gimbal. I decided to do an introduction. I've just got a normal t-shirt on, I've not, you know what I mean? This is what sometimes I even put full videos together, just, you know, really scruffy. I've even done, you know, like some songwriters will, when they do it, they get a good melody and a chorus, but then they just go doobie doobie doo because they don't know what words to put in. So it's a bit like that. I'll film something and then I'll think, well, if I film the guy, I can follow it. So then I go and stand near the guy, and then sometimes I just go, and here I'll say relevant stuff about the mill. But I put a video together like that and then update it. So I haven't got all the relevant information about HINDS Mill. But one interesting fact, it's from the 1760s. It also made blue and purple dyes, which was difficult to do back in the day. If you want to see what I'm looking at, it's just the River Irwell somewhere to the side of me. So let's get it back onto me and I'll stop being so out there and all over the place. So this is the intro to how I put videos together. I've showed you some of the apps in videos. I'm going to show you how I would go about now. I'm going to explain how Elton Reservoir is clearly being fed. And I think I've filmed the guy, so we're going to have to maybe let that go. it's, you know, it's on the board. It's not good for wildlife because it's a good wildlife corridor. Scouting to see if I've got a clear path, which I have. Yeah, so Hinds Mill would have got its wood, it says, from South America. Then I thought, well, it must grow its own trees because that's. But then I thought they come up the canal. So that's one example of how important the canals were, that you could get goods. Whether they did grow their own trees, these are the sort of facts we're going to find out. And if I can get into this runoff for a water wheel, and then a turbo water wheel, similar to Burrs. So it's all water powered mills just before the Industrial Revolution in prime locations. So as we've been explaining, our heritage isn't looked after very well in the last few vids. Here's another prime example. It's also an SSSI, which is a Site of Special Scientific Interest. That is better than a greenbelt, it's protected. So they used a lot of chemicals up there, which has now made the soil acidic, which is very rare in these areas due to, well, just it's all red sandstone and coal basically. Probably a diamond mine lying around there undiscovered. So here's some shots of what's around me. And we're going to end up, I've got a feeling, there's Withens Reservoir. It's just on the far side of Elton Reservoir. I've got a feeling that they're going to be using that to fill up Elton Reservoir, and then in turn that will fill the canal. But it's still an ongoing story, as we know. I'm just giving you a glimpse of what I was looking at. Also, this is in front of us, but we're almost there now. And so that's in front of us. So we'll just walk along. Yeah, incidentally, as I'm walking along, it's very casual. Might not say as much as usual, I might not have as many facts. One of the things is I've got to get over to the river. The plan is, I know a straight line from here, we can go up, see the site where the mill was, go through an old canal branch of the Berry Branch Canal, of the Berry Bolton Canal, an old canal, it's a branch arm off the Bolton section and Berry section. It's in the Berry area. It went behind the Egyptian mill. Whether that's because it uses cotton that's from Egypt, I don't know. But the brick is a white sandstone colour, or very light beige. I'm wondering if it's because it looked similar to the pyramids, as in some of the things around there. But I don't know. So I'm getting towards the bank of the river. What I'm here for, I think I can already see it. But I'm very careful I don't fall in the river, obviously. But there is a proper bank. I'm getting stung quite a lot. So I'm hoping to get on this iron thing here and hope it's attached to something solid and just trust it. It's over there on that far bank. There's a runoff. No, I didn't think this camera would pick it up. It's in there. In the trees there. See the stone? See if we can get a little bit closer. Well, hopefully we can. It's over there still. Yeah, it's over there still. Just another important thing about our heritage. You can't even see the damn thing, and it's one of the first. Well, it's a water powered mill making cotton, which is what Manchester's famous for, and we just filled it in with whatever. You can't get in there. It's definitely there. I can see it's even got the old iron sluice gate attached. It used to let water in there for a runoff, There's a water wheel in that runoff, and then it comes back out and the weir is further down. Yeah, well, but unless I go across in a boat from here, there's literally no better view. If you look, there's all nettles. So I can either go through there, or I can go in a boat. And it is directly across there. Hopefully I can get some digital footage, and you can see a stone wall too. If you look there, there's sort of an island being created in the Irwell. That's an island over there. There's another run of water there. Now whether that used to be separated and just go linked straight into there, I bet it was. So, thanks to the Irwell, and we're going to go over and see how beautiful it was. Oh, by the way, I'm going to put some photographs up on the screen now. This shows the runoff that I was discussing. Imagine them being able to walk through that. So they open the gate that would be behind us on this picture. It runs through under here. There's another gate at the end that lets the water out. When they let the water out, it makes the wheel turn. But once that wheel basin's full, they have to close both of these gates to fill it up with water again on this side, and then they'll drain it away. Otherwise the water would just fill up and the wheel will stop. So it's a very old-fashioned method, but it doesn't seem to require a massive guy or anything. But there is a weir. But the wheel would have been situated low down near the water, the river, and attached to a crank which powered upper levels of the mill. A bit like a windmill. So that's what I'm saying, it is so important to have these things documented. And you'll see that they've knocked it down for no reason. Do you know what? It was probably in the way of these electric lines above us. Right, so let's carry on with our journey. All the way up to Elton Reservoir. Yeah, and I think Withings is supplying it, but we will find out. That's how we'll end this video, this scout. Yeah, it's a scout, it's not about canals, but I thought I'd include HINDS Mill as an example of how I'd go about making a film about HINDS Mill. But we're going to leave this in its raw form as a pilot. That's what it's called. So it's the pilot to HINDS Mill, which will never be completed, unfortunately. We're on that site now. How remarkable. This is the runoff where the water wheel would have stood. Beautiful, isn't it? Look how we've restored, you know, all the materials. And we haven't put anything unsightly near it, anything like that. And in there is the stonework for the mill. Just smashed up. So what they've done is someone's told them in the 60s we're demolishing things at the canal. So just knock that mill down. One of the first, like 1760s, with a water wheel. Powered by a guy which is down in the Irwell. And we're actually stood over the runoff, which is made of stone obviously, and would have been a beautiful heritage site. But we decided to do this. And guess why? For no reason whatsoever. We've not built anything else here. It's used to store this container. It's not even funny, is it? And a bit further along on our World Heritage Tour. They're one of the oldest mills ever. There's some old stuff here in the woods. I think that's like a door. It's got wheels on it. Yeah. Attachments all down here. It's like just rotting away, some sleeper or whatever. That'll be part of the old mill because it's made of wood. A beam of some description, I'm not entirely sure, but it has got iron attachments. It's like a sliding door maybe. And the rest is just an overgrown mess. Once again, as an urban explorer, or someone who's interested in history, you've got to be careful where I stand. Always be careful in sites like this. I'll say it because there might be needles. This is the actual site now. Down here is the weir, which obviously has a water channel or a guyt. And I've seen it, it goes underground. That's what I'm saying, is a big iron runoff underground here, right under us, and that weir is all part of it. You can just about get it. It's down here, I know it is, but I can't get to it, and down there there's a stone runoff coming out of the side into the Irwell. See how that's different, something toxic in there. And it is a large site. Just at the side of the Bolton Canal, Berry Canal. So we're in the right area. The old cobble towpath. That's actually the route of the old canal. We could call this a wall of heritage. Which is literally what it is. As usual, right next to the canal. That they filled in for no reason as well. We're inside it now. We're going to get an update on Daisyfield Gate too. Along this stretch into the wharf in Bury, there used to be dozens and dozens of mills. Leave the main canal there, and there's a branch, an arm of canal, and it's full of water. And it was a long time ago when I was here. It's along down in my videos, in my playlist somewhere in the archives, but you can clearly see that runs off. And that used to run in between the mills, and no, it was the power in the mills. It could even be our runoff for the mill. Not entirely sure. And last time I was here, remember it was the start of the coronavirus, that's like 2 years ago. Oh, that was flooded. Told you there's nothing to worry about as well. It's the missing first mile, or the first few playlists. You have to have a look through my videos. This place has been filmed many times. That's probably all the proof we need. You can see water. It leads up over there. That's that canal channel I've just shown you. It comes off behind me. And it's either been filled in or there was once a tunnel. But you can clearly see on the far side there's wood. So that's a dock or something. Definitely something. Comes all the way up to where I'm stood. Oh, it was a reservoir of some description. Suppose we'll never know. Would have been behind the Egyptian mills. It does have a chimney, but we can't quite see. But definitely still got water, and there's bulrushes. Right, this way's where we're heading anyway. Very special update. That's the gate just before it enters the canal. It goes under the road. No water, as I said. But listen, there's an underground pipe now feeding it. So Elton Reservoir is being filled and it is still feeding the canal. It's the guyt that's out of use. They're obviously going to use the land where the guyt is and the canal feeder to build on. And that's been drained, as we've seen, all the way up. So I've came back because I'm just going to film how they're filling Elton Reservoir. But this isn't an outtake. Right, so I've got different clothing on. I'm out on the scout on another day. As you know, I was trying to say about getting the twilight, so I weren't supposed to film myself. But I noticed you could hear water running, filling up the canal. I had to come back and check, obviously. That's what I do, innit? I thought, you can't just turn it off. So the canal is being fed. And I've noticed that it's starting to fill again, but I'm getting ready to finish the last video, which will be before this one. And this is sort of a prequel to that, and that's why. Just another day. And it's totally drained. But like I said before, got a bit slimy. So we're going to head up very quickly. It's funny enough, I've still got twilight. It's a lovely sky. Not red unfortunately, but it might not be sunny tomorrow. That's why I came. So obviously before I finish everything, I want as much as I can. So I'm going to get, you might feel as though the video that's showing Bolton Wharf coming up, I was pleased with, but I just thought I've only done one video about Bolton. So Bury Wharf and Church Wharf will be included in a 3-part introduction from Manchester, which is going to take some time obviously to get right, including things like this. You have to just go out and scout about. You know what I'm actually out doing? Testing things for what they look like when you film them at this time of night, and I'm recording sound for obvious reasons, because we caught the wind. And you'll notice that it's another part of also in another little video I filmed not so long ago. I said it was not a brilliant design. They just shoved a load of stone here. I know it's the wrong angle because you can't walk up it without nearly rolling back down. It's just when you add water pressure. So I was like, what does he bloody know? What think he knows about all that? And here it is. Concrete upgrade. So I'm assuming now we're going to find out how Elton Reservoir is filled, which was the old canal feeder, which then I believe is going to go through some hydro facility to create some electricity. There's underground stuff here to measure stuff what's going on underground. There's 5 of them, that's number 5. But that's so they can test if the ground's moving around and what's coming up. What's, you know, put things down and see what the things are moving around. So water feeders there, I've got less wind so you can hear me. There's a concrete embankment part of it. So now underground there somewhere, it's all been rebuilt. But when it fills up naturally, I assume now, at some point this is going to fill the canal. There's nothing coming out of there either. But I could definitely hear water trickling out underneath the old tunnel. So they've just relayed a pipe basically. There's evidence of that right next to me right here. There you go. You know what? I'm pretty good at guessing. That's exactly what that is. That's the new pipe that goes down somewhere towards the canal. See where we go. Might as well get it while we're here, haven't we? Right. Very fancy that look. Oh wow. Victorian engineering would be so in awe of us. Look. It's real plastic, that. It's made of real plastic. So once it does fill, it is going to be pouring into the canal. So it's on an overflow system now. So the guyt can be taken out of the system, I suppose. Still unfortunate.